I'm David from Levika Photography, and it has been a long time since I've reviewed anything Godox related. So today we are checking out the brand new AD100 Pro, and I think this light is going to be cool as hell. So anyway, I just got it, so let's go ahead and open it up here and see what it's like. I hate doing open box, you guys know that. So anyway, comes with a nice case with apparently threads hanging out of it, but that's okay. We can live with that. Then on the inside, what do we got here? Ooh, we've got silica gel packets for those of you that like to collect. QC passcodes, a warranty card, and a little guide to all the other Godox stuff that they make. And of course, the user's manual. So here it is. This thing, size-wise, this is tiny. Compare this to a Dr. Pepper. That's pretty damn small. I did buy this. They didn't send it to me. I saw that it was coming out when the press release came out a month ago, and I ordered it right away just because I wanted to know what it was like. These run around $300. And it comes with a fairly large battery, which does not share the design of any other Godox batteries. This must be the battery, whoa, the battery eject button. That is a hardcore eject button. But anyway, just looking at it, we've got two quarter 20 mounts on it. And it looks like we have an infrared sensor up here, so it'll probably be able to do S1 and S2 slave capability. There's a little LED right here, so it probably has a modeling light. Yeah, I see the button for it. So to mount this, they send you a mounting adapter for a standard light stand. And we'll go ahead and put this on here. Umbrella pass-through right here, if you want to add an umbrella for it to soften it. Charging-wise, it comes with a cable, a USB-C cable, and then one charging plate. And then it has a standard USB plug that comes with it. Let's go ahead and check this thing out up close. Just looking at the menu, it looks like it's going to be really easy to use. So right here, the roll dial will allow you to change power. One thing I noticed is when you power it on, this comes up to roll the dial to unlock it. Just kind of a safety setup, so if the battery's in it, you don't wear the battery out in case it accidentally gets switched on. Ooh, there's a zoom on here? What the heck? Oh, check this out, it zooms. So it goes from 85 to 28. So it looks like the button up here for group and channel, you can set it to A, B, C, D, E. And then if you hold it down, you should be able to change your channel. 32 to 1, which is pretty standard on all Godox gear. Hitting it again locks it in. Modes, so this will do the standard multi. TTL, and then manual, and that's it. So this isn't going to have any master capability. You do have to have a trigger to fire this. Let's see what's in the menu. So we've got the beep to turn off if we don't want to hear it. Photo cell, and we can either turn that on or off. So S1 or S2. Wireless capability is either on or off. And then we have ID. So the ID is to match the transmitter. Oh, and then this must be our modeling light. Yeah, it is. Wow, that is yellow. Okay, we can live with yellow. I'd prefer the modeling light to be the actual temperature of the light output. But yeah, so far this looks very good. It's extremely intuitive to get around. That I like. This has probably got to be the easiest light that they have made yet. It goes down to 128, and then of course it'll go up to full power, and let's just see flash wise. So it's about 1.5 seconds at full power. At quarter power, let's bring this all the way down to a full quarter. That's a lot, that's fast. And I just heard a little fan turn on in there. So it has a fan on the bottom of it. Huh. That's cool. Can you hear that? So freaking fast. That is insane. I love that. So I've done this now probably 40 times, and I'm not getting an overheating warning. That's a good sign. Well, of course, it's still a pandemic and I don't have a model, so I'm going to be my own model today. I'm going to use my Viltrox remote. It's a wireless remote, and basically it's sitting on top of the X2T receiver on top of the A7R3, which is set to high speed for my shutter, and that should give us about 8 frames per second. And then I've got the 17 to 28 Tamron sitting on here, the AD100 Pro, might use the V1 a little bit, and then of course we've got the AD200 sitting over here. So I'm just going to set all this stuff up and get started. How to do a high-speed selfie photo shoot with this strobe. So let's take a look at some of the accessories that surround this AD100 Pro. And these are carried over from the Godox V1 flash. That's where they originated from. And also the AD200 round head adapter. That's what these are designed for. Really kind of cool. So this is the ARK1 kit from Godox. I think this is like 60 bucks. So they stuff a lot in here, and believe it or not, all this crap actually fits in here. I just don't know how. I can't do it. Anyway, let's take a look at what's in here. So the first thing we have are barn doors. And the cool thing about this kit, and I'm just going to blow through this really quick, is it's all magnetic. So that is really nice. It comes with a flash bounce, which I'm not sure why you would use that with this, but there may be a reason at some point. And then it also comes with a rubber snoot, which I love. These things just pop out and go on here like a little clown hat, and gives you a nice, clean, tight little spot. And then we've also got a grid, and the grid is kind of like a wider spot, more directed, almost a perfect circle, which I really like. And then we've got a wide-angle diffuser here. And basically this is very similar to the dome as far as diffusion goes. The dome may be just slightly softer. Now the other thing is it comes with this really convoluted gel filter system. So what you get with the kit is this clear pack that's stuck together for obvious reasons, because you'd sandwich a gel in between here. And then you have this nice little locking system on the back of these where you put these in and slide them and they lock down, and then they can't come out. It's a really nice design, but it's really unnecessary, because you can take a cheap old gel like this and just clamp that on and it holds. So yeah, when it comes to gels, I prefer to go the cheap route, but if you really want this nice system, or if you plan on stacking a lot of these accessories on there, maybe this cuts down the magneticness of it too much. But honestly, I found that these cheap gels work just as good as anything else. So that's what comes in this kit. The only other thing that you need for this is this bracket, and this is the new S2 bracket. So let's go ahead and look at this on a light stand. Let's check out the new S2 bracket versus the old S1. The first thing you notice is it's got a really smooth transition, whereas this one is old and ratchety and very clicky. And it kind of drives me crazy because you cannot dial this thing in perfectly. It always has to click into a spot. Whereas this is nice and smooth. They both have umbrella holders, new design. And then this one has this modified piece that you can pull out. So with this in here, it'll hold a flash just like the old one. With this out, you get two pieces. And so this actually pulls apart, and yeah, there's another little rubber clip underneath there. So you pop this flat piece out, slide that one back in. This will help get your light centered better in the Bowens mount. And from here, and now you can see it's pretty well centered on there. So yeah, really, really nice design. Godox has really made some seriously good improvements lately. Alright, let's do a quick test here. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up the AD100 Pro over here and the AD200 over here. Both of these strobes are 4.5 feet away from the wall. The first test I'm going to do is with the round strobe head adapter on the AD200. And this is pretty much the same head that's on the AD100 Pro. Alright, both flashes are set 1:1. So from here we can take a test shot. And this is set at 28 millimeter. This should be the equivalent of 28 millimeter at full power. Now you're going to see right off the bat there isn't a huge difference between these, maybe a quarter of a stop at best. With the round head flash, the AD200 is really kind of the same. Not a huge advantage. But with the square head flash, I have no idea what this is going to do. And the square head flash puts out a wider spread, a little bit brighter, really kind of the full 200 watt seconds. So here you can really see a big difference. Now let's try the studio head adapter. And this head is the one that I use pretty much all the time for everything. And again, it's the shape of the light that we're getting. So if you look at this photo, you can see that obviously it's brighter on the AD200. Here it is compared against the V1. So we have the V1 over here. They're both set at 28 millimeter. They pretty much have the same head design. But on the V1, obviously it's slightly darker. It's about a quarter of a stop darker at full power. And they're both at 28 millimeter and both 4.5 feet from the wall. On the V1, what you're going to notice is it'll have a kind of a power output variance the more that you shoot. So it'll be slightly darker, slightly brighter, not as consistent as the AD100 Pro.
Of the universe inside of me, help me beat the shit out of my ego, please. Forever, together.
Well, that was fun and exhausting. I tried to get this thing to overheat, but I couldn't. It's amazing. It didn't have any light fall off. There's zero issues. Consistent color output, consistent light output. The battery life seems to be pretty good. It says it's good for about 360 shots. It's really light. And the navigation on the back is just mind-blowingly easy to use. So yeah, this thing's kind of a no-brainer. I just wish it had a little bit more power. But other than that, I think it's a great light. As usual, the links are in the description, and I hope you guys like this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more information like this, and we'll talk to you guys later. See ya.